So today is Tuesday and the marathon was on Sunday. So yesterday, the only thing I did yesterday was I had a massage again after race, which I really needed because my legs were a bit achy, not painful but just achy. And then I also had a further session of cryotherapy on my knees just to finish that off. I've no longer got pain in my foot following that, so it's just brilliant. The pain's gone. So I had 2 sessions left, so I decided to use one on each knee. Um, yeah, just to help post run really, and just to kind of minimise any injuries that might be there. I highly recommend that. It's fantastic. So that's all I did yesterday. Today I'm not doing anything. Just having a nice day at home with little man. Walk the dog, but I walk the dog every day, so I don't really class that as doing stuff. Maybe I should, but who knows. So yeah, London Marathon. London Marathon on Sunday. Boiling hot, blue skies, not a cloud anywhere. It was hot, really, really hot. Stood in the pen for 40 minutes. It was nice. Stood there with the Charity Meningitis Research Foundation that I was running for, and we just had a nice chat. And it was just a good atmosphere in the pen. We were singing "Feeling Hot, Hot, Hot" over and over, and we were in pen 7, so everybody kept shouting 7, which was just it was just a good giggle. It seemed to be one of the most fun pens out there, so it was really nice. Decided not to push it because I didn't want to pass out on course. My priority was staying upright and crossing the finish line. Started off running with someone from the charity called Jo. She was absolutely lovely. She ran at a similar pace to me, so it was really, really nice. And then just before the 3 mile marker, she got bad cramp and told me to go on, and I was kind of in a bit of a pace and I don't normally, but decided to just carry on moving forward. I got bad chest pains at mile 5. I know from experience that's due to the fact that I hadn't drunk enough, but I remember taking lots and lots of sips continuously as I was going, so I couldn't figure out how I'd not drunk enough. And then I started feeling hot, but I wasn't sweating, but I was really, really hot, and so I started to panic a little bit because when you get that hot and you don't sweat, it's kind of a bit of a, I don't know, it worried me. And it started to feel like I was getting hot inside all the way out. So I kind of describe it like being in a microwave, like you feel like your insides are cooking, but you can't cool it down. And everything I was trying just wasn't working. I was taking on the water that I had on me, and that wasn't working. There were queues for the showers, so I was trying to get into the showers, but people stood waiting for them rather than running through them, which was a bit frustrating at times. So I slowed the pace down just to try and cool myself down. And by mile 10, I just couldn't. It was just too hot. Um, Everything was hot, inside to out. I couldn't cool down. I still wasn't sweating, and I was getting a bit worried. I'd drunk nearly all my water. I took a litre with me, and I'd nearly all gone. Um, yeah, it was very bad. There was no shade. Kept like trying to run through the shades of the trees and stuff, but it just wasn't enough. You still feel the heat. So that was kind of the first part. Then we ran over Tower Bridge, which was lovely, and round into the rest of London, and it kind of went a little bit shadier then, but it was still really, really warm, and the crowds seemed to almost take over the road in some ways, so you start to feel a lot more crowded, and the noise started to get to you because you were hot and you were thinking, I really must not pass out, and people are shouting at you, run faster, and you're going, no, I don't really want to do that. I'm hot and couldn't cool down. I had a lady who was my support in the crowds, and I texted her and said, I really need some ice. I just need ice because I wanted to breathe in cold air to try and cool my insides down. So she tried to get some ice for me for mile 20. Water stations started running out of water. I ran out of the water that I'd carry in, and so you kind of didn't know when you were next going to get anything to drink. So it got to one of these points of, right, well, that's it. I'm just not pushing this any further because if I don't know when I'm going to get anything to drink, how do I know I'm going to make it to the next water station? Because it could be a couple of mile away. Although it was supposed to be every mile, it really wasn't because places had run out of water. I I saw stewards picking bottles of water up off the floor that other runners had discarded and re-handing them back out. It got to that state. So I kept run walking, and then about mile 20 saw the charity, and that was just brilliant. I stood and had a chat with them just to cool myself down a bit. They were really supportive. They were absolutely lovely, just brilliant to talk to them. Then started run walking again, and then I knew my kids were about somewhere between mile 23 and 25 were my children, so I was looking for them, which kind of took my mind off the heat a little bit, which was nice. Still felt really hot, and I didn't want to pass out. I just wanted to finish it, just wanted to get it over with and finish it. There was a lady handing out fruit. I can't have oranges, I'm allergic to it, so she had apples, which was brilliant, although they were a bit dry, but it was better than nothing, but that still couldn't calm me down. Kept going, kept looking for my kids, found my kids, ran over to them, gave them a big hug. I really needed that. They had water on them, which was brilliant. Drank a bottle of water with them, had a nice chat with them, and said I'll see you at the finish line. So they started walking off to the finish line. I walked the last bit, but there was no more water past mile 25, no more water points, and mile 25 I couldn't even find the water point at that one. So the last water I'd had was with my mum, and I had no more on me, and I was at the point that I was going to pick the bottles up off the floor because it was that bad. I just, everything, I couldn't, didn't really want to run that last bit because I was just too scared of falling over with lack of dehydration, but kind of dragged my feet and walked it, which I'm disappointed in because I would have loved to have run the whole thing, but it just wasn't the day for it. It just wasn't the right plan. Ran around the corner and through the trees, which was nice because it was a little bit cooler. And then before I knew it, Buckingham Palace was there on my left, and I knew that I only had to go around the corner to the finish. And getting over that line was just brilliant because I kind of knew that when I'd done it and stayed upright, and two, I knew there was some water in them goodie bags because that's all I wanted. Well, actually, the only thing I wanted was a bottle of Sprite, which is weird because I don't drink fizzy pop, but I just needed that, but never found one. At the minute, I don't want to do London again. It might change my mind. I will do another marathon, definitely, but just not London. It was too intense, I think is the right word. I don't know how many people I saw collapse, but loads. Just people falling over, flaking over, or people sat at the side of the road with their hands on their heads, just too hot, trying to cool themselves down. People being defibbed. There was a man on a stretcher. I assume it's a man. That all I saw was foreign dark hair, because they were covered up with a sheet, and it just all throws you a bit when you're running. And then there were parts where the crowds were on the roads, but they were so close on the roads it made it really hard for the runners to get past, and it was really busy. There were 35,000 people. I mean, I got elbowed and pushed and shoved and hit in the face a few times. Maybe in a couple of years, but I won't be entering the ballot this year, that's for certain. Which is a bit bad because I really like the rejection tops, but I just can't run the risk of getting in. I don't know really. Maybe in a couple of years, but not again. Not for now anyway. But onwards and upwards to the next challenge. So it's 2 marathons in 2 weeks.